Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's look I wanted to do a burgundy and copper smoky eye. So obviously that is what we went with. If you want to see how to get this makeup look then just keep on watching. I have been filming this video since about 9:30 this morning and it is now 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just taken me ages because my battery's gone flat and I've just had all sorts of issues. So hopefully this video will all come together and just work out amazing. I've had trouble today, so if it seems a bit funny then that's probably why. I did film a first impression on the foundation I'm wearing today, which is the Hourglass Vanish foundation, which is the new stick foundation I've just brought out. You'll be able to see all my thoughts on the application of it and everything like that in the video that I've done specifically on that foundation. So hopefully that will go up probably before this video, so stay tuned for that video. So let's get straight into the tutorial. So I did this burgundy copper makeup look, so it's kind of a little bit fall / autumn inspired. Great for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere or for anyone that's wanting a more glam, dramatic look for a night out. So I'm starting out with my all-time favorite eyebrow pencil, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Taupe, and I'm just filling in my brows with it. I decided to do my eyebrows first because I was going to do my eyes first, and it just helps a little bit with placement to do your brows first. And I'm doing my eye makeup first just because if I have any fallout it's a lot easier to clean up. I'm starting out by taking MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and just applying that as a base for my eyeshadow, and I'm using Makeup Geek eyeshadows for this makeup look today. I'm taking the shade Vanilla Bean and just using that to set the eyeshadow base, and then I'm taking the shade Peach Smoothie and just using that through the crease of the eye just as a transition color, just to help everything blend out a lot more smoothly. And then since I'm using burgundy tones in this look, I wanted to take a more soft pink shade, so I took Makeup Geek's Cupcake and just use that to also help to blend out those darker colors we're going to add in later. And then of course I'm using Makeup Geek's Bitten eyeshadow because it is the most perfect burgundy shade. It's one of my all-time favorite Makeup Geek eyeshadows, and I'm just using that color more in the inner corner of the eye and also the outer corner and right through the crease, and then I do end up using it all over the lid as well. When you're working with darker colors you do want to take your time and build up the color rather than starting out with a whole lot of product. It makes it a lot easier if you just blend out as you go and just gradually add more and more layers rather than just going in heavy-handed and then trying to blend. As you can see, I'm also going back and forth with my brushes, so I'm applying it with a bit of a smaller brush and then taking a bigger fluffier brush just to blend the product out. The brushes that I'm using are the Sigma E25 brush to apply the product and then the Sigma E35 just to blend everything. So now we've built up that color pretty well. I'm going to now take a darker shade, so this is the shade Cherry Cola, and I'm just using the same Sigma E25 brush and just applying that in the outer corner of the eye and then also on the inner corner, because I was sort of going for more like a halo type smoky eye where it's dark on the inner corner and the outer corner, and then I'm going to do the glitter in the middle. So very similar process. I just built up that color until I was happy with how it looked, and then I moved on to a darker shade. So this is Americano, so it's a bit more of a rich, warm, chocolatey brown. And I just took a E36 blending brush, so just a really precise blending brush this time, and just used that more on the outer corner and inner corners. So I'm not bringing this shade as high as we brought the other colors because they will help to blend out the darker color. So I've got my overall base shadows down now, so I'm ready to go in with some glitter. So I'm taking the Too Faced glitter glue and the MAC 242 brush and this Ingot pigment in the shade 63, and I'm just applying the glitter glue first and then putting the pigment over the top of it. I did find this pigment a little bit harder to blend out, so I applied it for a start and then I went sort of back and forth trying to blend the product out, so rotating the brush to the side with no product and back to the side that had product on it, and then I also applied it right on the inner corner of the eye as well. I tried to keep the product as low on the eye as possible because I always get so much transfer onto the upper part of my eyelid, so I was trying to avoid that as much as possible. And the glitter went on a bit chunky, so I was just trying to blend it out with the E25 brush, and I had a lot of fallout, so this is why I did my eyes first. So I just used the This Works In Transit No Traces makeup remover pads just to clean up underneath the eye and also to sharpen up the edge of the eyeshadow as well. I then took the Sigma brush that I used to apply my eyeshadow base with and just put that underneath the eyes as a base, and then went in with the colour Cupcake again on the E25 brush and just started blending that out underneath the eye. And I took the shade Bitten once again and just applied that underneath the eye as well on that E36 smaller blending brush, just so it was a little bit more defined. I'm not being too careful here because I will be applying concealer underneath the eyes anyway, and that will help to blend it out a little bit as well. Then I'm taking the By Terry eyeliner in the shade Festive Gold, which is a really beautiful copper shade, and I'm using that on the inner rim of the eye. And then I'm taking my trusty Stila Stay All Day waterproof liquid eyeliner just to apply a wing on my eye. I haven't quite worked out how to do eyeliner and stay completely in frame yet, so just bear with me on that one. I'm then taking the Eyes of Horus black pencil liner just to tightline the eyes. I did apply my lashes off camera. They are Exo Beauty ones. I can't remember the style, but I'll link it down below. And then I just took the Marc Jacobs Feather Noir mascara just to blend the lashes with my natural lashes and just make them a bit more black, and I used that for my bottom lashes as well. And then I took the Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Light, and I applied that just underneath the eye and also on my chin and down the center of my nose. You may notice that I have foundation on by now, and that's because I had done the Hourglass First Impression foundation review at the same time, so I've got the Hourglass Vanish foundation on by now. I'm just blending out that concealer with the Sigma F84 brush and being a bit more careful right under the eyes where that eyeshadow is, just because I didn't want to mess it up too much. I'm then just taking the much smaller P84 brush just to get right in there and just to blend the concealer in with the eyeshadow. Then I'm taking the NARS One Shocking Moment cheek palette. This was a limited edition palette, but this shade you can find in the Paloma Contour Duo. I'm just using that shade to set underneath the eyes and down the bridge of the nose, anywhere that we highlighted with the concealer. And for powder, I'm just taking the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder in the shade Natural and applying that all over the skin. And then going in with my very well loved Laguna bronzer to contour. I did find this a little bit more difficult to blend out today, and I originally did think that it was to do with the foundation, but I've since used it together and I haven't had any trouble. And I also used that just to contour my forehead a little bit as well. And then for blush, I took MAC's Warm Soul blush. This is a really pretty blush, nice and natural, really wearable blush for day to day, so it works really well with a more dramatic eye makeup look like this because it doesn't clash with the eye makeup, which is really important. And then sometimes when I feel like I've taken my contour a little bit too far, I just clean it up by applying a little bit more of my powder in that area. For highlight today, I'm taking Becca's Jaclyn Hill Champagne Pop highlighter and just using that on the tops of the cheekbones and around the temple area. I feel like we all like to be a little bit more heavy-handed with highlighter, so I did apply a reasonable amount, and then I went in with the Hourglass Radiant Bronze Light Bronzer just to bronze up and warm up the skin. I also used it to kind of try and blend out that contour a little bit more because, how I said, it went on a little bit more patchy. It's such a beautiful bronzer and it just provides a really nice warmth to the skin. For lips, I took MAC's Boldly Bare lip pencil, and then as usual I just outlined the lips and then filled the whole lips in for a base for my lipstick. I always feel like my lipstick looks its best and stays on the longest when I use a lip liner first, and it just really helps to create definition of the lips and really make them stand out more. The lipstick I chose with this look is obviously a nude. This is Hourglass Nude number 3. I love this lip colour because it's really nice and pale without being concealer lips. Like, it actually gives you some colour, and it does help with the lip liner underneath just to give you that extra little bit of colour because it is slightly darker than the lipstick. And then finally I just took some of that Champagne Pop highlighter again and just applied that underneath the brow bone, and I also used the Benefit Gimme Brow just through the brows because I do that sometimes when I've done my eyebrows first just to define them again. So here is the finished makeup look. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm really happy with how it turned out, so please give this video a big old thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye!